Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Admiral Pegasus, and on today's video we're going to be talking about this announcement and what it contains. Well, what we foresee is actually going to be coming, and we're going to make a couple of speculations as well. Now, I will just say off the bat here, because I don't have an NDA, I don't have access to any of this, so I'm sure the likes of DJ and Rev Juice, No One Shall Lube will all be releasing their videos within time before this event starts, or at least around the start of this event, where there will be more information available back right then. But first of all, I wanted to actually get out there, first of all, because I'm not putting a lot of videos out. I thought, you know what, let's see what we've got, let's see what it says, and then let's make some speculations as well. Also, if I remember to put it in at the end of the video, this is completely unscripted, by the way. Just going to follow what's on the screen. I want to throw out an idea of the way that they could probably change the acts to make them a little bit more, you know, involving and not so long term, in a sense, in the game, in sense for the game. But anyway, it's something like, if I remember, we'll discuss later on. If not, I'll probably throw it into a live stream, something. But before we get into everything, if you'd like to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, please do so. Now, before we jump into this, I do want to apologise that there hasn't been videos lately. I haven't gone about the new ship or the latest thing where it was defeating, or the Freight 2 car, whatever you want to call them. I'm just not that. I was extremely peed off with how much grinding you actually have to do. But there were actually some easier bits on it when I got more into it, but I've been so tired lately, it's just trying to keep on top of everything at current. But one thing I do want to touch on is the event that finished only a few hours ago, and it's this one here. This, in my opinion, was a great addition to the game, because obviously the way to score in this event was basically doing a mission where there was a number of outcomes all the time, but you had to find the right path to complete it. If not, it started again. Now, it does fall within the Omega 13 directive of Galaxy Quest, where they went back in time and they relived everything just to actually change the outcome. So it was great to see that, and the fact that they also tied it in with Mud. For those of you who remember that Discovery episode from Season 1, where Mud was just completely reset in time, and the only person who actually knew about it was Stamets, and that's because of his special connection with the mycelial network. So it was great, the fact that they brought that hardcore Fenton Mud back in, and also tied it with the Omega 13 ideas. So this was great. I'd like to see more of this. And for those of you who don't know what the path was, sadly the event is finished. But hey, guess what? Courtesy of the community on Rev's Discord, at least, because this is where I pulled the answers from to actually complete, because I was getting frustrated. Now, the downside, yes, there's always a downside, was the time between. If you failed, you had to wait anywhere up to 11 minutes. Now, it wasn't exactly 11 minutes, because it could be less than that. I'm sure it was around about 11 minutes. But it's the fact you had to wait. You couldn't just jump straight back into it and go at it again. You know, so instead of like, right, so I've done this, is you had to wait 10 minutes and pray and hope you didn't forget what you did last time round. That was the annoying part about it. But other than that, this was actually relatively a good idea, and I actually did enjoy it. So there is that. Now, let's jump into today's feature, which is the Alliance tournaments. We're going to obviously quickly look through the announcements and see what we've got. So, of course, it's going to be starting on the 14th of August. Today is the 11th of August at the date of recording. So we've basically got just under 3 days to actually go before it all starts. And basically what it is, this is telling you you'll have to work alongside your Alliance in completing tasks. Now, as far as I'm aware, these are all going to be PvE tasks in some form or another. Also mining, I guess they may throw a PvP event in, but I can't guarantee it for sure. But what it is, you're going to have 3 days to actually work with your Alliance on this one. To get the most points, you'll need to work with your Alliance and to swap and complete tasks as efficiently as possible. Now, how that's going to work, I don't know. The swapping part of it seems like a little bit. Now, let's not mince words, right? Are we going to see some bugs on the release of this? Most likely, because everything Scopely releases, I mean, call me cynical. Yes, the comment section is open. Call me cynical, but most of the new stuff that they tried to release actually has bugs, which is why I'm surprised that a Mega 13 event didn't have a bug. Well, I didn't find one in it. So anyway, there are different types of tasks will score different amounts of points, and when completed or swapped, will be replaced by a task of a similar point reward. So if you're going to swap an event, basically it's going to come back on you. A new one's going to come at you for the same amount of points. Now, is there going to be a currency behind this one to do the swap? I would have thought so. Scopely love to throw currencies into this game. I mean, Jesus Christ, this new loop with the Protector, it's got so many different currencies about you got to do this to do this to do this to do this. It's ridiculous. But Scopely love their currencies, apparently. But anyway, your placement in this league will determine your placement in the real competition later this month. So these first 3 days are going to be the basic stars. Now, where are you going to find all this? Well, generally, you're going to find the events in the events tab, I would have thought. But the one thing is as well, you're going to find this. This is your new alliance board. So potentially all the events are actually going to appear in here. So as you can see, you got alliance tasks. So yes, actually the tasks will appear in here. And then obviously off you go to do what you need to do. Now, obviously there is an alliance leaderboard as well, which is going to have the various different levels of alliance leaderboards. There's a qualifier. There is a few different leagues. So not leagues, sorry. This will be obviously for, I think, specifically aimed at your service, and where you finish will put you into the league with the other servers. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is actually region based. It's not going to be server versus server. This is going to be region based. So for me, instantly, this is going to be like against all the EU servers. So this could potentially mean that I can go up against Lube's server. Yeah. Or I think, what's his name? Good Admiral Hunting, I think his name is. I think he's an EU one as well, so I could potentially end up against him. So there's a few other different creators I could potentially end up against, but obviously the vast majority are over in the US. So the US is probably going to be really the most active on this one. I should foresee, unless you get a lot of mining, in which case you could probably say the EU is going to be the most active, because there's very few in the way of actual PvP players. There is a fair few out there in the EU, but it's not as predominantly strong. But next up, you got member score. So I'm guessing this is going to be like your particular alliance, working through about where you're going to position within your alliance as well. And then of course there's going to be the store, which is going to, I'm guessing, is going to hold some rewards for you based on those events, so for you to actually purchase through various currencies within the game. So here we go. This is your idiot box for it. So you've got the Enter Alliance tournaments. If your alliance reaches level 2, oh, hang on. So your alliance has got to reach level 2 first. We'll talk about that second. Excuse me. Complete tournaments, tasks, earn points for your alliance to rank in the leaderboard. So that potentially is just your server. Or it could be the overall of your entire region. Collect rewards from the tasks at the end of the event and buy lucrative items from the Alliance Tournament store. So what these are going to be, I really don't know, but I really hope that there is actually going to be something decent. So the tasks. Each Alliance member will have a daily limit of tasks that can be completed. So it sounds like you could do more than one task. More challenging tasks will grant greater rewards. So basically, if the milestones are high, you're going to be getting better rewards out of it. If a member picks up a task, this task is unavailable for others. So watch out. You pick from the number of tasks that's in your alliance store, in your alliance board, but a new one will appear on its place. So say like you found one that's go out kill 100 gone hostiles, someone else picks it up, a different event will appear in its place. A task can be abandoned or re-rolled for a special currency. So there you go, there's your swap. It's a special currency that's going to allow that to happen. Leagues. First time event will run alliances, will enter into a placement league called the qualifier. Now you saw that at the beginning as we clicked onto this particular tab. Before I press the I button, it said qualifier. So that's the first league. In the qualifier, all alliances will split into cross-server regional leaderboards. Yeah, there you go. Regional. So EU region, US region, APAC. At the end of this event, alliances will be divided into 5 leagues based on the rank they achieved in the qualifier. So the higher up you finish, the higher you're going to the higher league you're going to be in. So in the next events, you'll be part of one of the leagues, which is going to be novice, apprentice, adept, expert, or master. Okay. Now, I would expect my alliance potentially to be in the expert or master because we are a very active alliance. So it will potentially come down to how much your alliance is active and how many events you do get completed as well. Each league will have a different rewards for the ranks and for the tasks. After the second event, your alliance will be promoted to a higher league or relegated to a lower league, depending on your rank, the rank you'll be in. So, for those who follow football, or for our American friends, soccer, you've got your leagues where, say, let's take it from the UK's basis, the creators of the great game of football. You've got your Premier League, you've got your League 1, League 2, League 3 and League 4. So basically, the top of the Premier League, you can't go any higher. That's it. You're the best team in the country. End of story. No questions asked for that season. However, the bottom 3 teams of the Premier League will be relegated to League 1. Now in League 1, the top 3 teams will be promoted to the Premier League. So they get to play against the best teams. But the 3 teams that have come down now have to play the next batch of teams in League 1. And then obviously the bottom of League 1, the bottom 3 teams are relegated into League 2. League 2, again, top 3 promoted, bottom 3 relegated, and so on and so on. Now, obviously, I'm going on the older style of the UK ones, because at the minute it's Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2, and then non-league teams. So we do have quite a few leagues. And we have a ranging of about 20 to 24 teams per league. So we do have a very big football season when we actually play. And I call it football, not soccer, because to my mind, it's called football. You use your foot, and that's what we do. We don't run up and down the pitch with the ball in our hand. So, but anyhow, to me, that's rugby. But anyway, so enough of that one. So the rewards then. In the Alliance tournaments, you'll be able to get task rewards, league rank rewards, and buy content from the Alliance Tournaments store and upgrade Emerald Chain levels. Now, we'll talk about the Emerald Chain in just a minute, because that is literally tied in with this. Alliance Tournament ranks rewards will be different depending on your league and the higher you are in that particular league. So the greater the reward will be valued. So the higher up, the better the rewards. So working on potentially like a multiplier, I'm going to guess there. So, Alliance Tournament stores will have items available once you reach specific leagues. So again, you need to be in a specific league to get it. The higher is your league, the better are the items. Seriously, who wrote this? Who wrote this? I'm struggling to follow because the sentences just don't seem to make sense. The higher your league, The higher is your league, the better are the items. Should that not be? The higher you are in the league, the better the items. That reads... this is Scopely we're talking about. Anyway, the second event alliances will be rewarded is Emerald Chain XP from the league's rank rewards. Emerald Chain works similar to the Syndicate. Oh, there we go. So we've got an explanation already. I've already looked at it. I will say, not bad results, rewards in there. But this is for the entire alliance. Everyone will benefit from a single time rewards and from the buffs. Hexacoms then. Only Alliance Admirals will be able to claim Emerald Chain rewards when the Alliance reaches the new level. So when you get to that new level, if your Admiral's not claimed it fast enough, start bugging him. I'm sure my Admirals are going to be straight on that one as soon as we're done. If you leave your Alliance, you lose the buffs effect, but not the single time rewards that you've already claimed. So if you've not claimed any rewards and you leave your alliance, you're most likely going to lose them. So make sure you claim them before you leave. So League's ranks rewards list. So what you're going to get then is rewards dependent on your alliance percentile rank. So the top two then are good. In the qualifier are going to get the league frame and league avatar depending on the number of points. The top 1%, the top 10%, the top 20, 30, 40, 65 and 100. So they're going to be the number of credits that you're going to get. So again, this is going to be a currency that you potentially can use in the Alliance store. So the Master ones then, once you reach the Master League, this is where you're going to start gaining Emerald Chain XP. So rank 1 will get you 11,000 Emerald XP and 100,000 Master League freight. Hang on, sorry, 11,000 Alliance credits. Sorry, Emerald Chain of 100,000, Master League frame and avatar. Yay! And then obviously rank 2, 3, 4, and then so it's going to be under the top 3 where you're going to get the avatars and the frames. Woo! For those of you who do actually like them, you're going to want to work for it. And then obviously more credits and XP per where you're going to finish. So as you can see, between rank 16 and 20, that's going to be the bottom of the master. So there you go. Expert League rewards then, obviously the top one is going to get the frame and avatar, and the rest is just credits and points. Again, ending with 20 alliances. So what we got next, the Ept ones. Again, top one's going to get the frame and the avatar. And then the remaining 19 alliances will get credits and XP. So you're going to be gaining XP all the time on this one. Apprentice one, again, it's exactly the same as you can see, but obviously the credits and XP does drop as you go down. And there you go at the bottom. So basically, 100 alliances will gain access to these leagues. 100 alliances. That's it. So watch out. What the promotion and relegation numbers are going to be like, I don't know. We'll find that one out. I won't be surprised if it's 1 up, 1 down. Knowing Scopely. But that's it for that one. So let's jump on over to the Emerald Chain, which you're going to find at the top here. As you can see, 11,000 points is going to be level 1. And what that's going to do is going to give you 150% to material mining rate. Now, if you click on the eyes, you can see that there is a split. Obviously, me being the 51 to 60, I'm going to get the 150%. But for like the G6 players, you're going to be getting 200%. Wow. We've already proven that like 200% is like nothing in mining today, just by the Trillium side of things. But this is for materials, so it's your gas, crystal and ore. So, yay! But let's just go quickly through. We're not going to go through all the eyes, But hey-ho. So the next up there for level 2 is going to be max cargo and protected cargo. So that's going to be a nice little bit of an increase. Like I say, you can check these out and go on the eyes to see where you'll actually filter for your particular grade level. What you're seeing here is literally G5. Next up, level 3 is build speed, cloaking, cost efficiency. Yay, not exactly the best one. And the transwarp refit in the Alliance Tournament store. So there's a nice little starter for you. There's a new reward there once you reach level 3. So basically, it's going to mean your board can do a disco and jump all over the galaxy. But again, it is limited depending on the certain currency you will have available in there. And what these are going to cost per shard, I don't think is going to be cheap. Put it that way. Scopely don't like to do cheap. So next up then, level 4 is an increase to research speed, increase to hull health by 450% for me. So that's a nice little boost. Won't say it's overall the best, but hey-ho, every little helps. And then 1 roll for the Borg Cube Refinery. Yes, the Borg Cube Refinery. So I didn't even know the Borg Cube had a refinery. So I know Borg Tech's there, but that was the Talios. But hey-ho, I'm sure it's there somewhere. Level 5 then is 100% to repair speed. Yay. And then 1000% damage in Q's trial. So it's allowed you to actually go that little bit higher. So it's like, I'm stuck at a particular level. I can only hit a certain amount of power now. And that's it. I'm buggered. I need a stronger ship. Can't do much else until I get the Vorcha, really. But 1000% damage will potentially allow me to get at least another level or 2 up. But again, that's something we can see when we finally get there. Obviously, don't expect all this with the rewards for you to be able to blast a load of these levels through. You'll probably get a couple of levels depending on how you go. So level 6 then is going to be repair cost efficiency, so making it cheaper to repair your ships. And you're going to get 2 shards towards the new officer, which has not been actually publicized in the patch notes, but is actually there available for you. So these plus 2 shards per day will get you to at least rank 1. Level 7 then is 200% damage to Armada targets. I'm guessing that's just specifically group Armadas, unless it could be all of them. I don't actually know. 500% to shield health, so adding from the previous 450% hull health in level 4. Was it level 4 or level 5? Level 4. So we're getting a 500% boost to shields. Galactic Recruit tokens available, become available, and then an Emerald Chain avatar is also there. Level 8 is going to see isolated damage against the Armada targets boosted by 7%. Again, remember this is G5. And then 100% to scrapping speed as well. Now there's a refit I actually do want, and that's the glass refit, which will allow your Fisher to actually go out and mine raw latinum, not the concentrated latinum, the raw latinum, the original latinum in the game, at a better rate, a far better rate than what it does. So that would be one I'd be particularly looking at myself. Level 9 is going to give you an officer stat boost, and also a roll to the Borg Solo Armada exchanges. So I'm guessing in the Bajoran store, no, sorry, in the Borg Tech, actually, Borg Tech Refinery, the first 3 chests, which is where your pulls are when you do your Borg Solo Armadas. Not something that I do very often, if at all, except for the odd Borg event. So, might be worth me actually doing it now because I can get more Fleet Commander stuff. Should really be doing it for my Fleet Commander stuff, really. So, level 10 is an increase of warp speed 120%. No, not really that much, in all honesty. And then you got the Armoured Refits for Voyager entering the Alliance store as well. Level 11 then is max cargo and protected cargo, so another boost. Voyager blueprints and parts also enter the store as well. And enough shards to get Naga Delvos into rank 2. So next up is level 12, which is increasing material mining rates and an extra roll to the Dominion Armada exchanges. So they're the ones in your Bajoran store. Now that one is definitely going to be worth something for me, but again, watch out for these extra rolls. I will just throw this in there. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but we'll have to wait and see. The extra rolls usually come with a downside, which is a higher, much higher cost. So just watch out for that. Unlucky then, 13, build speed by 60%. Realistically, 60% is absolutely nothing in G5. G6 is even worse. I mean, let's just look at G6, 75%. That is absolutely nothing. Literally, it's nothing. So I can't exactly shout that one. 500 Apex barrier as well in Q's trials as well. And the Columbia NX02 refit also enters the store. Yay! Level 14 then. Research speed increased by plus 105% and hull health goes up by 675%. And then the Eviscerator blueprints also enter the store. So if you don't want to, so if you manage to reach level 14 before you've unlocked your Eviscerator, you can use this particular event store to actually finish off the Eviscerator. Now, is the Eviscerator important? Is it big? Beside the spatial rift, but again, you need to get the damn thing to a high tier just to make it worth your grade. So for me, I'm probably looking at tier 6, tier 7 for me to actually have any use in G5. But again, it's not going to reach the top end of G5 for me. So it's up to you how you see it. Me, I'll be using it probably for the G4 pass, ready to build up my Newton. My Tribune can take a back seat now. The Newton actually has that extra ship ability, which is loot boot increasing. That's what I want. Emerald Chain frame also becomes available as well. Now, I will say that these forever increasing percentages, I do not know if these stack. So the hull health says 450% on level 4 and then 675 here. I do not know if they stack. So I don't know if this is basically going to be like over 1,000% just for those two levels. I don't know. It might do. I don't know. So I cannot say for sure it will. So anyway, level 15 then is another 150% to repair speed for me. And Apex barrier on capture nose is 1,000. So it's basically doubling my health on capture nose. Now that potentially could mean something for my sarcophagus. A maxed out sarcophagus could actually have its whole health doubled, so maybe last a little bit longer, but again, it's still not going to stand up to a G6 ship realistically. And then an officer preset, so it's giving me another slot to have another saved set of crew. 16 is repair cost efficiency, up by another 150%. And this time it's a +4 for the shards to give it up to rank 3. 17 is another 300% damage to Armada targets, another 750% to shield health. And also NX01 parts and blueprints. So if you've not got the NX01 yet, it goes another way to source it. But again, just a caveat, it may be cheaper to do it the other way. So, can't guarantee it, but hey ho. 18 then is isolated boost against Armada targets by 11% and 100% PvP isolated defense as well. So there's a nice little buff if you want to try and get rid of some of that isolated damage that the other players are actually throwing at you. And then there's the binary cutter refit added to the Alliance sword. Now this is the one that allows you to fire up to 2 individual cutting beams at a target. But bearing in mind that once you fire at that one target, it gets ablative armor for 30 seconds. So you have to wait 30 seconds before you can actually fire the cutting beam at it again. In that 30 seconds, obviously somebody could come along and actually just pop it the old-fashioned way. So just watch out for that one. Level 19 sees an officer stats increase of 225% and an extra roll in the Zindi Armada packs. Now, I've not actually ran one of those Armada yet, but having that extra roll, again, watch out. It potentially will be a higher cost. I cannot guarantee it, though. And then you've got level 20, increasing your warp speed by 180% and giving you the assimilated amalgam refit in the store. So basically increasing the amount of cargo you're pulling out during your base raids. Not bad. 21 is a max cargo and protected cargo again, and enough shards to go up to rank 4 for the new officer. 22, material mining and critical chance reduction in PvP. So now remember, that's not a square 100%. There will be a net effect on it, so just bear that one in mind. 23 is 100% repairs build speed for your buildings. Yay! And then obviously a roll to tier up catalyst, emblems of assessments, and fusion rods refinery. So that's actually a nice little thing, but again, it could make it potentially more expensive, so just bear it in mind. 24 then is going to be another research speed and another hull health increase. So if it does stay, we're now potentially looking at 2,000%. All right, I'm rounding. I am rounding down. Assimilated stellar skin is also available as well. 25 then, repair speed up, and then a 2,000% PvP damage. Now that's a boost. So that means those lowly players can take on at least a G5 epic and at least inflict some damage if you manage to get a shot off. And then obviously there's another officer preset there as well. So from the original 10 that we were having, we're actually ending up with a few more now. 26 is more repair efficiency, an extra role in Isomatter Strange New Worlds Officer Exchange, and enough shards as well to max out the new officer. Level 27, damage to Armada targets and shield health. Okay. 28 is isolated damage to Armada targets and an extra role in the Xborg Zindi Scrap and Bounty exchanges. Now, the Zindi Scrap, okay, yes, that would be nice. However, mine's maxed. I do not need any more reputation. That needs removing once you've completed the reputation path. So, but of course, that's something Scopely you really need to look at. 29 then is more officer stats and isolated damage in PvP and the Voyager astrometric scanner. So there you're going to be able to find players' bases and find players' bases. Yes. So that's just the astrometric scanner, which also allows you to determine how long their shield is going to be up for as well. And then finally, to top it off at level 30, warp speed increase and critical damage reduction in PvP. Also, Monovi Mark II refit as well appears in the store, and the Emerald Chain frame. So that's it. That's what you get. Now, just a reminder, again, this works like the Syndicate. So you will need to complete those events. You will need to score within the top 100 alliances in your region. So if you do not score in that, you're buggered, because you ain't going to be able to score any more on this. Are there going to be packs toward this? I really do not know. That could mean anything. So we've got a download in here. So let's see what's going to be brought up here, because I haven't seen this yet. So, complete alliance tournaments to provide your alliance's worth to the Emerald Chain and gain valuable rewards for your whole alliance. Place higher in the leaderboard and reach higher leagues to gain more Emerald Chain XP per tournament. So there you go. That's it. That's all there is. So, yes, it is going to take your whole alliance working together. But again, you're working against alliances from all over your region, so just bear that in mind. Some alliances may consider it not even worth the effort, and to be honest, I really can't blame them. But there is some nice stuff in here. I will say there is some nice stuff, but it's down to you and your alliance if you consider it worthwhile enough. Now, I am going to throw this in here because it's something I thought about. I did put it as a comment in one of Rev Juice's videos about the way arcs are running at the minute. Now, what we've noticed lately is when a new arc drops, a new grind drops as well. Now, this is not a grind that has any end point. It doesn't have an end point. So basically means you can carry on as you go through. Now, the latest one with the new area of space when you get that invasion. You go out, kill all those Fatu Crays, and you then go after the Chimeras. So that's not a persistent grind. However, it's a 3-day solid grind to get what you need. Now, to me, that's all right. That's a tournament sort of thing. So that's got an end point. You're only going to be doing it for a couple of days, so you could potentially dedicate a couple of days to actually doing that. But some of the other things that we've got, like the Zindi, like Borg Solo Armadas, Dominion Solo Armadas, the list goes on. There is no actual end date to these loops. There's no end point to these loops. That means loops just keep building up and up and up in the game. Sadly. Now this is going to be a tournament base. So as you can see, it lasts 3 days. Not a problem. 3 days dedicated time to this. Not a problem, in my opinion. That's got a cutoff. So you're not going to potentially be doing it. Now, let's throw this in here. You do not have to do everything in this game. You do not have to become a victim of FOMO in this game. Me, I've cut my grind down to the absolute bare minimum, which is my freebooters, a quick run in factions, G5 faction space, go mine some Trillium, Gorn, Zindi Aquatics, and the Zindi Reptilian Wanted. That's it. And I can get all that done in an hour. Then obviously you've got your standard mining as well for your materials. That's nice. I just leave them to mine. But other loops like the Solo Armadas, I have to throw them in every now and again. You don't have to do them every day. You can select a day to do them. But you still end up with so much to actually do because you've got the Dominion Solo Armadas, you've got Borg Solo Armadas, you've got the Texas class shipyards. So you've got a lot of Solo Armadas already there. But then the Borg Solo Armadas also transmit into the expansion cube. So again, the continuation of that loop. But the problem is there's no end date for these. Now, what I can say is that one thing I've learned from playing Star Trek Online, I'm still playing it, but I don't play it as religiously, is they have end dates to their sort of like loops and arcs sort of thing. It's like it is a tournament, and basically you do a certain thing every single day just to actually complete the just to get a completion token for that day. And then once you get to the end of the run, so it's like 20 days, you get big rewards. And I'm talking about big rewards. I've got some big ships out of this free of charge because I've basically put the time in. And this is what I would like to see brought into the game, is where you've got your month tournament where there's specific SMSs. You can do 1 or 2 or 3 SMSs, and you get a completion token for each one. Now, those completion tokens, in my opinion, can work towards the battle pass or a big reward at the end of the month. And then also you use your daily events and everything else to do it for your normal daily stuff. So, yeah, I mean, the big rewards at the end of the month could be the ship that was released that month. Yeah, you can still sell it for $100 at the beginning of the month. Not a problem, because you guarantee those who want the ship now are going to buy it now. You can't disagree with that. They are still going to buy it. If they want those officers, if you put that pack in there from day one, they're going to go after those officers and buy them. There's no questions about it. There are players out there who will spend. So it won't hurt to put that ship as a reward for like the free-to-play players at the end of, say, like a 2-3 month arc. Put it at the end of it. Release it in month 1. Do a tournament through a 3-month arc. Completion events and everything. At the end of it, because you've put the effort in, you're going to get that ship. You've put the effort in. You've spent time in the game. But then, at the end of that arc, that's it. That loop finishes. If you're going to bring a new loop in, make sure it has a credible completion point within a reasonable amount of time, like 3 months. That's a reasonable time frame. Not these open-ended arcs where they're basically just going to be progression towards the game. If the Solo Armadas had an end point, they could have done. You can still go back to it if you want to. As the Scopely, they could go back to it and say, right, we're going to run another Solo Armada tournament for a week this time, just for a week, and we're going to do a payout afterwards. So you got to go run Solo Armadas for that point. You can still journey to those systems and kill the hostiles in there if you wanted to as part of your dailies, but the Solo Armadas you can't touch for for the time that tournament's not running. But then as well, you're going to have players flocking to those systems trying to complete those Solo Armadas. So you're going to get massive activity, massive engagement within the game for that period. And then that's it. Players will leave it alone while the tournament's not running. But, yeah. I'm hoping it's made some sense that basically a fixed point end of each loop, rather than just continuously going. It's like the Borg loop, going out, killing hostiles, to charge your Borg cube up, to use the cutting beam to blow a ship up, to gain currency to go spend in a research tree, which could take you years to complete as a free-to-play player. Now, if you're prepared to spend money, fine, it's not going to take you that long. But then there's restrictions, like you can only go to a certain ops. You need to be a certain ops level or a certain tier of the ship to actually do it. It's open-ended. It's just adding a grind into the game that does not necessarily be there on the long term. Make it a short-term one. Make it worthwhile to the players. But I don't know, maybe it's food for thought or something like that. But we can discuss it more on a live stream when I get around to actually doing a live stream. But anyway, thank you for joining me on this one. So this has been Alliance Tournaments. We've got this coming up on the 14th, so just don't forget about that one. If you did like this video, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Don't forget to share out amongst your alliances. If you do wish to donate to the channel, the PayPal, Cash App links are available in the description of this video. Until then, thank you for joining me. I'm Admiral Pegasus. Stay safe, live long and prosper, and I shall catch you on the next one. Goodbye.